Welcome back to the official Kraken YouTube channel. We're still building the KV5TT kit, and we're going to start on bag D.
So we're here on page 16 and block 22. We're going to be building the front shock assembly. Let's get started.
All right, let's get started on block 22.
So we've got all the parts laid out. We got gaskets, we got all the good stuff. We got shock bodies, we got shock shafts, we got a little bit of oil for lubrication. And first things first, Nate, let's build a shock body.
So these are identical parts, so I'm going to be building it along with him. And I guess you guys can just rewind if you forget what step you're on.
Okay, so let's start out with, this is part KV5TT. You can see here that it's got a smaller end, it's got a larger end. You want the smaller end facing down and slide that in there. So what we did was these parts come on a tree, these plastic shock parts, they come in on a tree. We cut them off, and where we cut it off the tree, there's a cut mark here. Now what you guys want to be careful is you want to get your cut as close as possible, but beware, don't make sure that there's no extra material left here. That'll mess with the shock's function and maybe some leaking or binding. So what we have is we have a small file or some sandpaper, and you just want to smooth out all the plastic parts where you cut them down. So you'll do that here, 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 and here. So moving on, we got the first portion in. Next, we're going to want to lube it first with a little bit of shock oil like we did in a previous video. A little bit on the finger. That's more than a little bit.
A little bit, a lot of it.
Slide it in. Next, we got this guy right here. Make sure you get rid of any burrs before installation. The file will help with that. Okay, now go ahead and slide this one down in there. This one doesn't have any orientation, it just slides in. Next, we're gonna do another O-ring. A little bit of oil. A little oil first. Oh, it's already oiled up on your fingers. Go ahead and slide that down. And next, grab your cap, and you're going to take your last KV8856 plastic part. And for this one, again, there's a small side, larger side. You're going to take the smaller side and drop it into the bottom of the shock screw, like so. And then you're going to screw that on. So here, guys, before you screw that on, Nate, we have a little pro tip for you. We have, since running the car, we've used Teflon tape, we've used Loctite, and what we found works best is actually taking an O-ring. And what you want to do is you want to take an O-ring and you want to slide it onto the bottom of the cup and roll it on down. So guys, this installation step is not in the manual. It's something we figure out after the fact. But if you wanted to contact us, find out what kind of O-ring that we're using, and any more information on this step, just go ahead and contact us and we'll get you some more information. So take your shock bottom cap, screw it on, and once you get it tight, go ahead and get a firm grip of the body, and you want to snug it down so the O-ring works like it's supposed to. And that is the completion of that portion. Now let's take the shock shaft and build the upper portion. Set it small thread end up. Washer first.
8-hole dampener.
Make sure there aren't any burrs. You got burrs?
Don't got burrs.
Burrless. And we need the retaining nut. So we're going to use a small, this is a 7mm down low to hold it. And then up top, you're going to use a crescent wrench to tighten.
All right, so we're tightening this top nut right here.
We got it tight, and that's the completion of that step. And next we are going to thread the shock shaft onto the bottom rod ends. Nate, before we slide this in here, let's put a little bit of shock oil on the shaft to lubricate, give it a little lubrication. You want to give it some lubrication so that you don't tear into the O-ring when you install the shaft into the shock body. Grab your shock body.
Oh,
Flip it. Slide it down in there. So you get the threads peeking out the other side. Pull down. You can kind of check the seal, slide it up and down, seeing everything's moving smoothly.
make some fun little noises while you're at it.
Okay, now, next step, we're going to thread on the rod end. So you started your rod end hand threaded. Now you take 7mm and grab something soft like Sharpie, something thick enough to take up the space in the rod end, and use that for leverage and so as not to damage the inner plastic where the ball rod end is going to go. Alright guys, that's the completion of that section. Nate's going to go ahead and do his side.
Alright guys, thanks to our trusty Sharpie, or whatever marker you have on hand, we're finished with this part. This is what it should look like. It should go in and out easily because of the silicone oil that we put on the shaft earlier, and that's the end of this part. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next tutorial where we tackle bag E, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of our next video. See you later.